Hey everybody, Michelle Hart here. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to do a pick a card reading. I don't know why I'm doing that. But we're going to ask the question, is he or she the one? Now obviously this is a difficult question, as with all questions pertaining to love, because love is just messy. There's emotions involved, there is heartache, there's technicalities. It's just, they're hard questions to answer, so anything pertaining to love is going to be a mess. But all we're trying to do here today is kind of figure out what the intention is of your current partner, because nothing in life is guaranteed 100%, right? You have unforeseen circumstances, people change, energies change, life happens. It's just the way it is. Nothing is 100% guaranteed. We just do the best we can with it. So we're going to kind of gear the question more towards, does your current partner have the intention of staying? So I'm going to tell you what stones these are, because I almost forgot. So we have, what is this? Oh my gosh. Oh no, I know what these are. These are all different variations of tiger's eye. And I actually did this purposely because in a relationship, you want to keep your eye out for red flags. Yeah? No? Okay, just me? All right. I find myself funny, you know. I can entertain myself with these videos. So we have, first and foremost, we have the red tiger's eye. And it's kind of hard to see this stripes in it, but it really is very pretty. And then we have blue tiger's eye, which also has that same beautiful, that stripiness going through. And of course we have, it's regular tiger's eye, but it's in the shape of a heart, because, you know, heart, love, all that beautiful stuff. All right, so go ahead, pause the video if you need more than the time I give you, but I'm going to give you a moment or two to kind of just pick whatever pile you feel drawn to, and that will be your pile. So just take a deep breath, meditate for a second, and go ahead and pick your pile. You pick your pile yet? You done? Are we good? We ready to go? Okay. Sorry, I'm in a goofy mood. I'll try to rein it in for you guys a little bit so you don't have to deal with like continuous eye rolling during this video. All right, so we have for the pile number one, I don't know, got stuck on my finger there, that's weird. Pile number one, we have, look at that, what? Some weird piece of plastic is just stuck to me. It doesn't, I'm attracting plastic now. It's weird. Okay, so what was I saying? Pile number one, red tiger's eye. There we go. We're getting there. We're getting there, people. So we're going to start with the oracle card just to give the overall energy for the reading here. And this is channeling. Now, I'm going to show my age a little bit here, people. When I think of channeling, I think of like turning the dial to tune into a radio, because, you know, older people had to do that when they were young. They had to like turn the dial. Anyhow, so, but that's what I think of when I think of channeling, is kind of like you're trying to tune into your partner. You're trying to tune into their needs and their wants and their personality. Even when you're trying to figure out whether this relationship is here to stay, you're just trying to like figure out all the little shit that is going on with them. So I actually really like that card. So we have some tarot cards, obviously, to go along with this. Okay. So this is interesting. You seem to be the more aggressive one in the relationship. That sounds wrong. Does that sound mean? I'm not trying to make it mean. You're just you've got the strong personality in the relationship, is the sense I'm getting from this. And that's fine. I mean, you need to have that balance. Everybody has to have a certain amount of like your partner's better at some things and you're better at other things. As long as they're not too extreme and as long as you have other commonalities, you're all good to go. So I'm not saying like aggressive behavior or anything. No. I'm just saying this is, you have a little bit more stronger personality than they do. And that's okay. That's good. You have the potential for good balance there. Because I definitely get the feeling that your significant other is kind of more the hermit in the relationship. They are kind of like, they like it more quiet and chill and, you know, whatever, that kind of thing. So what's interesting is this relationship right now is in a potential cycle. It is in a state where it can go one way or the other, okay? It can go in the positive direction or it can go in a negative direction. And I get the very strong feeling that kind of that depends more on how you respond in the relationship. Because they're all like cozy and whatever and they're chill. But maybe they're dealing with some things and they're kind of like pulling away a little bit. And you got to watch out for that, because if they're pulling away a little bit, in my personal experience, people who have a little bit stronger personalities have a tendency to be like, well, why are you pulling away? Why are you doing that? Why can't you stay with me at all times and do all things? Chill. Calm down. It's okay. They are allowed to pull away a little bit, as long as you do not go chasing after them and like smother the crap out of them. Please do not do this, people. Please, I beg you. It is really hard, especially if you have somebody like this. I think is why we get the channeling card, right? We have somebody potentially that might be a completely different love language than you. So this channeling, I think, is telling you that you need to like step back a little bit, chill out a little bit, and go, okay, what do I notice about this other person? What are their likes? What are their dislikes? How do they like to receive love? How do they like to give love? Are you somebody that likes to have like quality time and be doing things with them, so, watching movies together, spending all your time together? And he's just like, oh, I like giving you gifts, or I like just hearing, words of affirmation, hearing compliments, and I like giving compliments. It could be a completely different love language than you. So if you don't know anything about love languages, look it up. It is probably one of the more, words are hard, one of the more simple but very practical ways to kind of understand your partners, your loved ones, your even family members and friends, and how they feel loved when you do certain things. And also it helps you to be more aware of yourself and how you feel more loved and the things that make you feel loved. So you can tell other people, hey, you really want me to feel like I'm appreciated, get me flowers once in a while. Or if you're somebody who likes, to just sit and spend quality time with somebody. I mean, that's kind of the vibe I'm getting right now, is that like, you're somebody that likes to like sit, spend quality time, or not even sit, but like do things with the other person, right? I get the very strong feeling that is not their natural state. They like kind of like, chilling out and being relaxed. They're okay just being with you. And you're kind of like, I want to go do things with you. Very different ways of responding to love. So, excuse me, frog in my throat. I told you. At least I think I told you. I got tea and I'm trying to like clear it all out, but welcome to fall. Where was I? Yes. Different personality types. But anyhow, so this relationship is actually still very much really up in the air, because you're like, they're pulling away, and they could be pulling away in your mind, and in their head, they're not actually pulling away. Or if they are actually pulling away, they're trying to figure out like school or family stuff or like work stuff, or like it could be any number of things that they're just kind of like, they want to spend the time with you, but they can't, So this kind of depends on you a little bit and how you respond to that sense of pulling away. So sit back, kind of take stock of the situation that other person is dealing with. Go, okay, what can I tune into to like figure out whether or not they are like legit trying to pull away, or if they're just dealing with a really stressful time in their lives, or if they're just a different love language. Like notice patterns, see the things that they do when they're under stress. I mean, talk to friends that they're close to, or family members if you can, and kind of get an idea of like how this person is in different situations and what their habits are. And I think that'll give you a clearer picture of like where this relationship is going and whether or not they're a good match for you. Because it's just too up in the air right now. It could really go either way. So take with it like what you will. Just figure out what they need and how you are responding to it, and kind of like I said, just take a step back and take stock of things. Like make note of different things. And I think that'll really help out your relationship. So we're going to call it quits on that one, pile number 1. And we're going to move on to pile number 2. Maybe. Which one was pile number 2? Oh, pile number 2. That was... I'm losing track, people. I'm sorry. I promise I'll get it together. So pile number 2 was the blue tiger's eye. And the overall feeling for this reading is let go. Now, I absolutely love this card because, first of all, it's just gorgeous. There's something about it that's just, it sings to me. But in this case, it's interesting because I don't know if this is a let go. You need to let go of the relationship, or you need to let go of something in yourself to make the relationship work. So we're going to kind of see what the cards have to say. Okay. All right, guys, this is really awkward. I'm going to try and describe what I'm feeling to you guys, because this is the most awkward situation for me. I just don't know any other word for this right now. So the Fool and the Four of Wands are kind of... Okay, so normally I would, when reading the cards, I'd go like, okay, it ends well. It ends with the Four of Wands. But this Four of Wands in this particular deck is kind of giving me a different message. Like, maybe you guys get together potentially, but there's only one frog here. When we look at the Four of Wands in other decks, you have like, it's like a family and there's a house in the background and kids. Like, it's more of a together type, or building something together even. But this, we have, you know, this thing being built, but it's alone. So maybe this is a situation where you need to let go of your partner right now, or they need to let go of you. That might be coming down the pipeline. But obviously, I'm not telling you this is a yes or a no thing. Like I said, things change. And I get the feeling that if there's almost this sense of you're a little too needy and they're a little too immature. There's this sense of like, maybe you need to like let go of some of your ideas about how love and life should work. Because especially depending on your age, like, you think the world works a certain way, and then you kind of live a little bit longer. You're like, okay, no, that's not quite the way things work. I thought it was this way, but it's really this way, or it's kind of close, but not quite. Things change as you get older, and you notice different things in different parts of your life. And that's, you know, I think that is the way that it's supposed to be. You're supposed to experience these different phases of life where you're more certain, but you don't really know as much. And then other times where you're less certain, even though you know more. And then there's other times where you're like, I got it all figured out. I know all these things. And you're certain about it. And you're actually right. Every once in a while, that actually does happen. But if you're my husband, it happens all the time, apparently. Complete side note there. Sorry, guys. I'm kidding. Don't take it so seriously. So yeah, this is kind of just a situation where you have the potential for a good relationship, but I don't think now's the time. You might need to like separate for a little bit, or just, I don't even know that it necessarily needs to be a separation. Just kind of like take a step back, pause, and go, okay, what do I need to work on in myself? It might be you need to finish, somebody needs to finish school, or somebody has, just stuff going on in their lives that's too much to deal with right now to deal with that, and the relation, trying to develop a new relationship, or trying to progress in a relationship even. So this is just like a pausing right now and figuring out what you need. This is, I think, look at that frog. How sweet is that? It's a toad, I think, actually. But take the time to fill your cup. Take the time to take care of your needs. And I think that once you have figured that out, you have the potential for a good relationship. But either way, even if it turns out that that other person is not for you, your cup is filled and your needs are filled. And even if you do end up having to separate and you find that you're not meant for each other, it will be less impactful. I mean, it's still going to hurt, because relationships are just, they're painful. Even if you do the best you can to avoid it, they're just going to be painful at times. But it's going to be less painful to you because you will have already established a good base for yourself in who you are and things that you want out of life. So that's kind of the overall feeling of this. And I think but like it's a good feeling. I do want to make this clear. It's a good feeling. There is a lot of positivity in this. It's just right now you're kind of like, you got some things to work out, and that's okay. But I feel like the end result is actually going to be so much better for you, and it's going to be such a positive thing for you. So I really hope that works out well for you. I'm going to call it quits on this particular reading in pile number 2, but I really do. I wish you the best of luck, and I hope that works out. All right, last but not least, pile number 3, we have, if you pick the little heart tiger's eye there. And the overall feeling for this particular reading is focus. Right off the bat, the feeling from this card is there is just so much love, and love for yourself and love in the relationship. This has got good positive vibes to it. So I'm actually very curious to see what the cards are in this one. I put those out wrong, didn't I? Hold on. I don't know. I guess it doesn't really matter which order it's in, because I kind of read whatever the whole is before I even get into the details. And because it's just a 3-card spread, they're all right next to each other, and how they pertain to each other is kind of it doesn't matter. That's my point. It doesn't matter. I'm saying lots of words that are unnecessary right now. I apologize. We're going to try to summarize here, people. So, focus is the overall feeling. But the messages that we're kind of getting here, or that I'm getting here, is that right now, you're in a good spot for yourself. However, there is some past hurts that are making this relationship difficult right now. So, like, I feel like this other person that you're with is probably like, oh, gung-ho, let's do this, let's be together. And you're like, maybe we need to back off. Like, it's getting too close for you. And I hate to say it, but it seems to be like, because of all your past relationships, you've had to fight just for any sense of love and affection from your other relationships, or they ended so, like, disastrously that you were like, oh my gosh, I just don't want to deal with this anymore. I don't want to have to fight for love anymore. And I'm so sorry, because that feeling absolutely sucks. when you have, and see, I'll show you. I keep interrupting myself. Ugh. Let's try this again. One of the things that I first noticed with this card, and this is really nice actually with this card, they have lots of different, you know, keywords that can help with the readings. But one thing that I don't generally associate with this card, but I think is very accurate in this particular reading, is the words strings attached. I think there were previous relationships that you had where you had those strings attached, where you had those situations where you're like, you literally had to like fight, stand your ground for whatever, whether it was just to like go, I deserve to be treated better, or, you know, this is my life, I want to do this with it, and you're not okay with that. There's just this feeling of so much tension in past relationships. There was always strings attached about how you should behave and how you should, maybe how you should dress, maybe how you should talk, maybe just your personality in general. And you don't want to fight that. You don't want to have to like completely change who you are to be in a relationship. So if that's your current relationship, friggin' just get out of there. This is not where you want to be. But I don't think that this is. I think this is a situation where you are actually in a relationship right now. I think this is for most of you at least, where you're in a relationship right now. That's actually a good one finally. But you're so tired of like fighting that you're just so uncertain about whether to stay in this relationship. And if that's the case, me telling you just go for it is not, no. I'm not going to do that. Instead, go and, I don't know, seek some therapy or talk to some very close friends that you trust. Get some perspective on the situation, on yourself specifically, and see if you can kind of cut those strings attached kind of feeling. Because right now you are attached to those past relationships and how they affected you. And that's not what you want to bring into another relationship. Yes, you can be cautious. You should always be cautious in starting a life with a new person if you're wanting to be together. But this is more about you than it is about them. You need to take the time to take care of your needs so that you're not bringing other things into the relationship that's harmful. So if you want this relationship to work out, this is on you. This is on, you need to heal some old wounds. You need to take care of yourself. As soon as you've got that down, sweetheart, I think you're good to go. But even if that's not the case, it's that same situation as in pile number 2, where it's like, even if it turns out that you have to break up for whatever reason, if you get yourself in a better spot, that breakup is easier to deal with, and you have less strings attached to this particular scenario. So just take care of yourself. If you need to do therapy, whatever it takes to kind of heal those hurts, because I think you've just had to fight for too long. We don't need to fight anymore. This is a situation where you need to heal. This is a time when you need to heal. So we're going to leave that at that, pile number 3. Hopefully you got something good out of that, everybody. That was an intense one, but I really hope you guys really got some good information, got something positive out of this experience. Take whatever works for you, leave whatever doesn't. I take no offense one way or the other. Just do whatever works best for you. This is your life. You gotta choose what's going to work best for you. So, as always, do the best you can to take care of yourselves, and do the best you can to take care of those around you too. Have a good one, everybody.